In the early morning hours of Valentine's Day 2019.
Clapping shit up, you know that. Bezzling this bitch. Y'all already know what's going on, man. We got it's just a criminological video or whatever. Killer husband realizes his wife is still breathing.
A woman named Olivia Jones walked the aisles of a local supermarket known as HEB Plus in preparation for dinner with her husband Chris. As she gathered the ingredients, she observed a bouquet of pink and red roses, colors that symbolize tenderness and passion. As Olivia exited the store with the roses in her cart, she was unaware that in less than 40 minutes, she would be dead. A horrible consequence of so-called toxic love. The police would find her on her bedroom floor in a quiet neighborhood in Beaumont, Texas. 11 minutes earlier, her loving husband Chris dialed 911.
Beaumont 911, what is the address of your emergency?
Olivia! Please, hurry. Customer service again.
Tell me what's going on.
I'm at home. My wife been shot in the head. Please.
Somebody shot in the head.
My wife, please.
Tell me, where is she shot?
In the head.
Okay, where in the head?
In the window.
Okay. I want you to try to control the bleeding.
As soon as the call disconnected, officers headed on their way to the Beaumont, Texas home of Chris and Olivia, located at 5575 Pine Burr Boulevard. At 8:55 a.m., they arrived. Officer Otis Butler was met by a familiar face, 40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones, who was visibly distressed. Officer Butler was close friends with Chris and his wife Olivia. His body cam was rolling while Chris urged the officers to hurry into the house.
She in my bedroom. Where's the gun?
In the bedroom, broken down on the dresser. Come this way.
Okay.
Please, come this way. This way.
Okay.
Please. Olivia!
As alluded to earlier, the officers made their way to the bedroom and found Olivia lying on the floor.
Baby!
Sir. Okay. Step back.
What's up, Mr. Boy? I tried to take it.
Get his.
Mom!
Olivia was found face down with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. Astonishingly, she was still breathing. When the officers rolled her over, they discovered that the bullet had pierced through her right eye. The room she was found in was covered in blood, with spatter all over the walls. The paramedics arrived, and while they tended to Olivia, the police secured the area. Officer Butler had Chris walk him through the events leading up to the shooting.
What happened? We had a disagreement, and I say, baby, if you're not working with me, you're working against me. I say, we've been doing this. My 19-year-old stepdaughter was 8. My 11-year-old was 1. I say, Olivia, we can't get it together. We can't be together. We got several. And I say, I just want a divorce. And her reaction was, she got the gun. I said, give me the gun. She like, I don't remember which hand. I'm like, give me that gun. What is you doing? Stop trying to scare me. I took it.
So when you grabbed it, went off?
She yanked. I grabbed it and she yanked back. And the gun went off. The gun went off.
Chris's story immediately set off red flags. How could such a large man be overpowered by his significantly smaller wife? Chris dropped to his knees in anguish, but there were no tears as he asked Officer Butler if he could go check on Olivia.
This nigga got money. Peep the scene. Whoa, slingshot, BMW, old school motorcycles. Daily driver TRX this bitch a Ram. I seen that too. This nigga has motion, bro.
Mr. Butler, I got help.
No. You don't need to go in there, okay?
Is she alive?
Yeah, she is.
Is she alive, Mr. Butler? Please don't tell me she's alive if she's not.
Yeah, when I saw her, she was.
She was talking?
She wasn't talking.
Is she breathing?
It looked like she was breathing, yeah.
Ooh, good.
Like, no. Go in there, sir.
Please.
Sir, I need you to stay right here with me, okay? And calm down.
Calm down.
Upon learning that Olivia was still breathing, Chris's reaction seemed strangely devoid of relief or happiness. Another red flag for Officer Butler. Back inside the home, Olivia's wounds proved to be fatal, and just after 9 a.m., she was pronounced dead. Officers searched the rest of the home and noticed that in addition to the surveillance cameras installed on the exterior of the house, there were 2 more cameras mounted in the living room, monitoring the interior of the house as well. They also discovered the gun that Olivia was shot with, a 9mm pistol covered in blood. However, they found it strange that the gun was in a different room from where the shooting took place. If Olivia was holding the gun when it went off, how did it end up in a different room? The only logical answer was that Chris must have moved it. Following this discovery, the officers decided that the best course of action was to
Arrest that
detain
nigga.
Chris until they had a better understanding of what really happened. As Chris was getting handcuffed, his 19-year-old daughter, Ariel, arrived at the house. She had already been contacted by Chris, who told her what had happened. She was clearly devastated.
That nigga don't got not a single bro.
While the officers tried to console Ariel, Chris was escorted to the back of a police cruiser. Lead Detective Mendy Freeman and Sergeant Yvette Barrero of the Forensics Unit arrived at the residence and were immediately caught up to speed.
According to him,
That girl, that shit is so sad. She just lost her stepmom and her real dad in the same day, gang.
he grabs a 9mm in their bedroom. And she did that. He claims he reached for the gun.
Nothing
He
we're
tried to get it from her. And when he reached for it,
Take it
they
on the
struggled
op,
over it. Boom.
At that moment, Olivia's sister Angela arrived at the scene, and Ariel once again broke out into hysterics. All of the evidence was collected and sent to the crime lab. Chris was brought down to the station where they took photos of his hands still covered in blood.
They're waiting for the lead detectives. They're going to be the ones that actually interview. So
When the detectives finally arrived at the
What did you
station,
do,
they started
motherfucker?
Chris's interview by asking him what caused the argument. He said that he felt as if Olivia wasn't pulling her weight in the relationship.
I am very particular. If you heard that, that's true. I am very particular. You strive for the best for people. I work really hard, and I don't make excuses for myself, and I don't accept excuses for anybody else.
After telling her that he wanted a divorce, she went to the bedroom and grabbed the gun.
what did you say?
Wait a minute. You serious? Really? This is not going to solve it.
Okay.
You know, this is not. You do not want to do that. You put that freaking gun down before you make a mistake. I heard you say that. She was crying. She was crying.
Chris handed over his cell phone, which had access to the home security camera footage.
Say if you want to access just that camera, you touch that. Well, that's just that camera. Okay. Go with your partners and so far. Let's go back to devices. And everything is labeled. Carport, backyard, front door, back door, laundry room, sunset garage, living room, kitchen.
The police examined this footage, hoping to corroborate Chris's story. At 8:41 a.m., Olivia can be seen going about her morning routine in the kitchen. Then, all of a sudden, the footage cuts out. 3 minutes later, at 8:44 a.m., the video is back up, and Chris is captured frantically pacing around the house while on the phone with 911. 11 minutes later, at 8:55 a.m., the responding officers can be seen entering the residence. That means that Olivia must have been shot during this 3-minute gap in the footage. In the interrogation room, Chris was asked why this footage was missing. He claimed that he had no idea.
We're still trying to pull up his videos here, man. Why would there be no recordings on that? I don't know. It should be. Everybody that went in that house should be on it. But like I said, the internet, you can go through days and it's going to pretty much does it. We shouldn't have gone that. Just keep, like, you can pick whatever day you want and it's never going to be consistent. That's why I say it was a waste of money.
Well, I'm wanting desperately to find some video on here that corroborates what you're telling us, but almost all of the videos right after this event happened.
Chris had a bunch of excuses, from internet problems to not charging the camera properly. But at this point, the detectives were taking anything Chris said with a grain of salt. It seemed more likely that Chris, the only one with access to the footage, had tampered with it. Since they did not have the video, they had Chris reenact the moment that he tried to disarm Olivia.
Now go ahead and do my initial. She pulls it. Give me the. Okay. And I go.
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
I don't want the chair.
I'm sorry. You're fine.
I like the chair, man.
I'm reliving it. You are? I'm reliving it.
So she should be shot in the back of her right head.
Did you feel me twist your? Did you feel me twist?
Back here.
Did you feel me twist your?
What's your
I twisted.
With each question asked, it seems as if Chris was improvising the answer, actively trying to make the puzzle pieces fit together rather than telling the truth. The detectives ended their initial interview feeling more suspicious of Chris than ever. They then moved on to other members of the family, starting with Olivia's sister, Angela.
Olivia Jones is your sister, right? We've been
But why?
talking
I
a
don't
lot
get the-
lately. We talk every day.
The
I drop
divorce
her
thing,
baby
but
to
like,
her
what's his
at the
motive
text
behind
office.
killing her?
She's always been timid about everything. But she was the type that whatever went on in their home, she would keep it there.
Right.
Kind of a
That's
private.
real.
Right, private person.
Yeah.
She loved her baby so much.
Park City is a place where you can ski and ride through an endless snow globe. Here, you can come and be yourself. Because this is your mountain.
That she felt like
You
she
need a
wanted to
YN, bro.
live
It's
for
like you
them,
need a YN.
she would
Gotta have a
never.
YN son.
Angela went on to reveal the extent of Chris's control over Olivia.
She can't talk on the phone after a certain time. He controlled the finances. He never wanted to be in the presence of her family.
That's weird.
Family reunions, anything, he never came. But
That's weird.
she would have to step off, and when he would call, and all you could hear was him screaming and yelling on the phone. His character is agitation. Like, his
Right.
character is to be aggressive.
Big, small,
Just
aggressive
don't
black
get
dude. I mean, he
Because
look
all
like he
she
off the
wanted,
roids. It just has
my
that.
sister was the Mary type. All she wanted was to be loved.
And that's
She loved love. Like, she loved her babies. She wanted to live for her babies.
To make matters worse, Chris's ex-wife Letitia, who he initially met back in 1999, corroborated
Damn.
his pattern of controlling and aggressive behavior.
I met Chris Jones in 1999.
nigga, it's
It
2025.
was just
What
like
the
a
fuck?
constant fight. Like, he strangled me, choked me out,
Damn.
drug me through the house.
Oh my god.
My skin was missing off my back. One time he bit my hand.
This nigga's
He
a
had
freak.
bite marks in my hand. This was what it was. If the house not clean, he's told me that he would kill me if I was to ever leave him. Told me how he would do it. The reason I never said anything or went for help was because I was extremely in fear of my life. Because I knew and I felt in my heart that he would kill me.
And most damning of all were the allegations made by Olivia's daughter Ariel during her interview. She explained what it was like living at the house with her mom and Chris.
Oh my
One
god.
time they were arguing, and I heard her say she couldn't breathe. I would see bruises on her. It broke her down to the point where she believed what he said. You won't be nothing without me, stuff like that. Right. Everybody knows my mom. Everybody knows my mom. Everybody knows that we were her world.
With each person interviewed, the allegations against Chris were stacking higher
Worse
and
than
higher.
fucking
They doubled
worse.
back with him,
Nasty
urging him to tell the
bitch.
truth about what actually happened to the missing footage.
No, stuff videos.
I look guilty.
No.
I'm not deleting those videos. I look guilty.
Not if you say right now, what you just say, well, I freaked out, I panicked, I did some stuff I shouldn't have done. Is that one of them?
Yes.
How many did you delete?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just afraid of being blamed for somebody to do something that looks really bad on me.
While the confession was a much-needed win for the detectives, there was still no trace of those crucial 3 minutes of footage. However, the detectives did their due diligence. They spent the days combing through all available footage from the house to see for themselves what daily life was like for the Jones family. In these recordings, the true nature of Chris and Olivia's relationship was on full display.
Then you gonna be looking stupid. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor, White. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on. Why is that like that? You're not paying attention. What the? You weren't worried about the son of a 15 minutes ago.
Right. Tough, right? Been tough guy, right?
Look at me like
This
this,
fucking
bitch. I'm not playing
instigate,
with you.
bitch.
Lazy. You want to do something? Not
School ass nigga,
Give
that's
me
why
that.
that shit don't bother
You
me
got
at
all the
all.
goddamn ass. You don't do a goddamn thing around this.
My dear homie, JB, I'll clap his ears together, he's a bitch.
Clean this, that's clean.
Right straight down on his goof ass.
I didn't want to reuse them.
You look at it. You don't pay attention to what the f you doing. You all over the place, Olivia.
Clap his fucking, I'm talking about like, I'll make that nigga like one side of his hand smush to the other side.
Now? Me? Harriet don't live here. It's you. It always been you.
Chris would take any chance that he could to bully Olivia, constantly putting her worth into question, even humiliating her in front of her own daughter.
When I got the show ass, you didn't have a job. You collected unemployment. You just had.
Living with opioid addiction can be a struggle, trapped in a cycle of opioid use, withdrawal, and cravings. Sublocade.
If most men in this world want a woman that got what? You wouldn't be doing this if I wouldn't have got upset.
Right.
You would have bagged that.
Right.
Life would be so much easier for me if you start thinking. You do dumb because you don't think.
Right.
This footage shed light on Chris's true colors and confirmed the allegations of abuse from Olivia's family. Detectives also looked into Chris's criminal records and discovered that he had a history of violent charges, including multiple assaults in 1996 and a domestic assault in 1998, which landed
I'll clap this nigga ears together like no bullshit, folks.
him in jail for a brief period of time. Even though they were still waiting for ongoing forensic analysis results, authorities believed that they had enough evidence to place charges against Chris.
News this morning, a Beaumont man is now facing murder charges in a Valentine's Day shooting of his wife. Police say this man, Christopher Ray Jones, who worked as a correctional counselor at the Beaumont Federal Prison, killed his wife, Olivia.
Chris was charged with first-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter in April of 2019. But unexpectedly, within 24 hours after being charged, he was released on a $150,000 bond and was put under house arrest with a GPS monitor.
Now, a man charged with murdering his wife is back at their home.
40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones was arrested and charged with shooting his wife in the face on Valentine's Day. His bond was set at $150,000. He paid.
I told
was
y'all
now
he
out.
got that bad.
Many taking to social media to voice their concerns, stating things like, "Can't believe he's out on a $150,000 bond. That's crazy. What's wrong with our system?" And, "Can't believe they would make his bond so low that he got out. He should not be walking the streets."
While out on bail, Christopher was allowed to continue operating the Jones family business, a food truck called One Plate at a Time. The
So
judge
they will
allowed
still get
Chris to
money?
work well out on bail since the food truck is directly beside his home. However, this decision was controversial amongst Olivia's family and the community. They knew Chris was the only person with Olivia at the time of her death, and they all seemed to believe that he had killed her.
This food truck on Concord Road in Beaumont is a hot topic on social media. It's not generating rave reviews from many, but condemnation from a grieving family.
I don't see how would anyone want to support someone who murdered their wife on Valentine's Day, which is a day that we are supposed to celebrate love. And the day that she was going to celebrate that with him, he decides to take her life.
Chris's image was tainted even further when the results from the crime lab came in. The bloodstain patterns at the crime scene indicated that the gunshot wound could not have happened in the way that Chris described it. Additionally, investigators found no gunshot residue on Olivia's hands, indicating that there was no way she was holding the gun when it went off. There was, however, gunshot residue on Chris's hands and clothing. Despite all of the evidence pointing towards Chris, he pled not guilty to his charges. But before his trial would take place, Olivia's family held a gathering to honor her memory.
This Valentine's Day,
Praying for you. Thank you.
purple and red balloons filled Rogers Park.
Purple means domestic violence, and red was one of her favorite colors.
1 year ago today, Joshua Simmons lost his sister.
Valentine's Day was one of her favorite holidays.
I would give almost anything to have her back right now.
What's this year been like for you and your family?
If you can wrap it up in one word, it would be frustrating.
Frustrated with the fact that Jones isn't behind bars. Now the family wants to raise awareness for domestic violence, but more than anything, they want justice for Olivia.
We want him to spend the rest of his life in prison.
Fact.
While my sister spent the rest of her life in the grave.
That's the face that nigga's sister, man.
After finally having an opportunity to celebrate Olivia's life, her loved ones would once again have to face her death during Chris's upcoming trial. The courtroom was packed with family members from both sides. It had been over 3 years since Olivia's death, and despite the clear tension between the two...
YouTube video. Alright, that you sent me? That you made with me in it?
Right.
Every nigga you shot at, you said cracked. You only hit him for like 68. Every nigga. And then, as I'm sitting there fighting and reload, you're sitting there just staring at me getting worked like Grubs is laughing. And you sitting there like, nigga, I'm beating that ass. I watched it.
Yo.
Like, he was watching me get my shit beat. Nigga, no. When you asked for a match, I dropped you match, right? When we went backwards, you turned around, shot at me for 68. You was like, cracked. Like, bro.
You
You got ass?
Bro, that's my fault, bro.
Nah, nigga. You didn't do it just one time. You did it like so many more times after that.
That's my fault, bro.
And when I said, what did you want me to watch? Oh, God, I didn't know what you was talking about.
What you mean?
Nigga, when I was like, watch somewhere, like y'all tell me to watch somewhere on God, I didn't know what y'all were talking about. Are you on?
I'm finna go on right now. I was doing a reaction video.
Oh, so you can finish that real quick and then just text me on cord when you're done.
Wow, what you doing?
Finna play with somebody while you're doing that?
For the beach and shit? Nah, there's literally like a minute left in the video.
Alright, do another video.
Bro.
Just do one more video so I can play one game with this nigga.
I guess.
Alright, and then just text me on cord when the second video is done.
Oh.
Alright.
This nigga think I'm a good boy or something? I'm not finna do that shit, stupid, goofy ass nigga.
Families. They all wanted the same thing: justice for Olivia. Prosecutors Jimmy Ham and Mike Laird described Chris as an abusive partner with a violent past, and it was only a matter of time before something like this happened. Chris's defense attorney, Ryan Gertz, argued that Chris only grabbed the gun because Olivia was recklessly handling the weapon, putting both herself and Chris in a dangerous predicament. Forensic pathologist Celestina Rossi provided critical bloodstain analysis and confirmed that Olivia did not have any gunshot residue on her, contradicting the defense's claims that her death was merely an accident. The testimonies and evidence combined ultimately overpowered the defense.
What the fuck is this nigga's cut, bro? Jesus
And on
Christ.
February 8th, 2022, Christopher Ray Jones was found guilty for the murder of his wife, Olivia Jones.
1,118 days. That's how long Olivia Jones's family says they've waited for this moment. The moment when Olivia's husband, Christopher Jones, was found guilty of murder. Olivia died at the hands of her husband on Valentine's Day 2019.
Yo, that bitch forehead crazy, man.
And instead of spending a lifetime behind bars,
we elected to agree with the state to a
That nigga is so ugly.
30-year sentence because
Bro, I ain't know my nigga. Yo, this the nigga that been in Jenny on videos. I be scared the N-word. What's good, bro?
because of the potential risk of, an even higher sentence.
in exchange, Christopher waived his right to appeal the conviction. After the judge handed down this sentence, Olivia and Christopher's two daughters took the stand. Looking directly at their father, they described the impact of Olivia's death. The youngest daughter, who was only 11 when her mother died, said, quote, "I'll forgive you one day, but right now I can't." Throughout the trial, the prosecution described a history of abuse that finally blew up. Defense attorney Ryan Getz argued a different version of events.
I think that we'll never know what happened, and that is that the.
I mean, I know.